And it says we're live once again.
Are we live, Mr. Martin, producer?
Happy Tuesday.
Hello, hello.
Let's make sure that the mighty Mart's up in the console there can see us. And we will be, he's just checking. So it's a little cloudy Tuesday today. I did my stand-up outside. We're expecting 2 inches of rain this week in LA, which will be fantastic. So hopefully nobody's, house slides off a hill. But, the extreme weather's all over the world, isn't it? It's everywhere. Mm-hmm. So this week, now that everybody's sitting comfortably and joining, thank you for joining, we are so excited to hook up with, believe it or not, our old roommate. And he's not old, he's young, but we were old at the time. This gentleman is joining us live from his gorgeous home in Athens in Greece, not Georgia, but Greece. And his name is Mark Chait. He's a world-renowned film composer and concert pianist, winner of the prestigious Emmy Award, a 3-time Telly Award winner. That's the New York City Premiere Award honoring the finest in film and TV production, and an IFMCA Nominated by the International Film Music Critics Association Awards. Mark has also composed for an Academy Award nominated film, that's Oscars for those of you who don't know, that starred none other than Elias, Koteas, and Brad Pitt. His expressive music, along with being a virtuoso pianist, have won him many distinguished audiences, including a command performance for the US presidential candidate Hillary Clinton, the late King of Swaziland, his Rolodex is crazy, isn't it? The Picasso Foundation in Paris, and audiences across Shanghai, Beijing, and Zhejiang, he will correct my pronunciation, have become fans and admirers of Mark's performances and cinematic music. He recently performed at the Vatican for Pope Leo. He co-composed with Charlie Midnight and performed a commissioned song, On and On, in commemoration of the international conference Raising Hope for Climate Justice, which took place just last month, October 2025, at the Vatican in Rome. He's also had major success in China. He can't walk down the street there and people start humming his theme tune. And you can learn all about his talents and travels at markchaitmusic.com. And without further ado, here he is, Mark Chait. Welcome.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Hello. Good evening from Greece.
Absolutely.
I think we're 10 hours ahead of you.
That
yes,
would be
that's
true.
Right. Yeah,
that's true, because you're 1 hour ahead of Europe, right?
Yes, 1 hour ahead. Yes.
Yeah. Well, what's the irony? You've got Mrs. McCartney's Teas as the sponsor of the podcast. You're drinking tea at nighttime, and we're drinking wine, whiskey in the morning.
Scotch and water. Yeah.
It's Tuesday.
It's perfect. It's perfect. There's, the only meal that doesn't have wine is breakfast.
That's right.
Don't bank on it.
Yeah, that's true.
If it's a Sunday, you can have mimosas, though. You're allowed to have champagne at breakfast.
God,
on the weekend.
I remember. I know. This is fantastic. Haven't seen you. Haven't this for so long.
I know.
It's like,
it's
like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it does, doesn't it? We often laugh about when we all used to go in the studio with Barry coughing in the valley, and all the funny things that happened when you lived with us. Some we can talk about, and some not.
Every single time, because it's 30 odd years since we all shared that crazy house in North Hollywood, and your father, the late dear departed Ruby Chait, gave us that fantastic leather furniture. Do you remember?
God, I forgot.
We had apple boxes upturned with tablecloths over them for side tables. And along comes your dad from South Africa, and he's like, well, I've got all this fabulous furniture and I've got nowhere to put it. And the showroom on La Cienega is full. Would you like $10,000 worth of leather furniture? We're like, yes, please.
I remember. This is hysterical. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Photograph somewhere. I'll find it. I'll dig in.
Yeah.
Send it to
you. Please do. Amazing.
Yeah. But every single time I make a smoothie or I blend anything in the glass blender, I think of you because of how you used to hate cleaning, taking the blade out, and taking the bottom off. You always used to smoothies. You always used to whine about cleaning the blender. So that 30 odd years later, that's still stuck in my head.
God, I have such a selective
memory.
I
always remember you making lasagna, and that was the first time either of us had eaten lasagna.
Yep.
And every time he makes it, I think of you, which is once a week.
Yep. So there you are.
I haven't made it since then. I'm a good cook. I cook Greek food now. Very healthy version of lasagna. and it's great. This is amazing.
So Ange had a question opening. You were just starting out in music back in those days.
Yes. So what's the memory from that time that put you on this path to be a composer or a pianist?
Or both.
Or both, yeah. Which you are now.
Well, sure. I mean, I grew up in South Africa, and I remember as a 6-year-old playing Beethoven piano sonatas. So I was like a child prodigy, born to parents who never really understood anything about it. So I didn't think it was anything special. But I remember that music was the way out. It was the way I could get away from home. I represented South Africa as 14 years old. I got to travel the world in the South African Youth Symphony Orchestra, and I thought, oh, music's not a bad thing. It's great. But when I came to LA, it was the beginning of my career when I lived with you guys, and I just wanted to do something that would make an impact in the world. And so I was always miscast. I was always the classical musician in the film world. No one knew what to do with me. Finally, people know what to do with me, and I always followed my own heart. I just did my thing. But what I did since a child in South Africa is I used to make music up. I was bored with just playing Beethoven, Chopin, Rachmaninoff. So I used to start and play the first 10 pages, and then I used to write my own in the moment. Wow. But I didn't think it was special. Now I'm doing concerts in London. All last year and this year, I've had a huge success doing concerts of reinterpreting the masters. And a lot of them are for charity. I did one last year in the Museum of Natural History with the Oxford Philharmonic Orchestra. And I found people who love it. LVMH and Guerlain are my sponsors now. Wow. So, it's taken me all this time, 30 odd years, to find my audience and my niche. And I just kept at it. And I'm happy to say I get paid well to make stuff up.
That's wonderful.
I had a conversation with a new friend yesterday, a gentleman called William Goldstein, who in a very similar business to yours. He is a composer, and he has what he calls the 3-note. It's not really a challenge, but it's a 3-note. I'm going to introduce you guys. You will absolutely get each other in 5 minutes. And he invites somebody out of the audience to come up on stage and play 3 notes on the piano, and then he composes around those 3 notes and calls it their symphony or whatever. So it's incredible to think that literally out of the blue, the universe has sent me, not only reconnected me with you, my old friend, but this guy just popped out of nowhere through a friend called Jeremiah, who I'm definitely going to ask you if you'll do the Jeremiah Show podcast, because he's on international radio as well.
Yeah.
It seems to be raining talented concert pianists this week. But as I know you also play violin, but would you say that the piano is your main instrument?
It is. There was a period in my life where I had to choose between a master's in the violin or the piano, and the piano was a better option for me because of orchestration and because it gave me the depth of music that allowed me to become the film composer I needed to become. And the violin on the other hand, and when I was in the orchestra, I was the lead of the second violins, and I was like, why am I the second violins? I want to be the first violin. Yeah. And I realized, the universe has a plan. The meat of the orchestra is the second violins. The first violins, they're playing melody, da 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 da. The second violins are the meat, the rhythm, the cadences, the chordal structure. So, when I write my film scores, I'm like, thank God I was the second violinist.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. So, and also because of the piano, I understand harmonic form. I'm living in a country that's got a different scale. The Indian have a different scale, the Raj scale. And what I found is that I've learned how to blend them. So I think my first concert in Greece will be a combination of Rachmaninoff and Hatzidakis. Hatzidakis was an amazing Greek composer, one of the best. Wow. And I did it as an experiment. It seems to work. So what happened is the former prime minister and his family, his grandfather was prime minister, his father, brother, it's like,
Dynasty.
The Dynasty. And he invited me spring this year to open the CIMI conference. So it had 200 world leaders. It's been going for many years. And they said, let's bring music this year. So I did an opening concert in Greece on this beautiful island full of world leaders. And I thought, how can I represent Greece? So I combined the Hatzidakis and the Rachmaninoff. I did Bach for Bach was for climate change. So, and the first piece I wrote, now I did the same concert at the Vatican, by the way, the second day, which wasn't televised. And
Right.
the first piece, and each one's about 10, 15 minutes long, are the Chopin preludes rewritten for a fragile democracy. So
Wow.
our theme right now is how do we focus on a fragile democracy, climate change, and my last speech was called Requiem for Borders, and that was the Rachmaninoff and the Hatzidakis.
Wow.
So it seems to resonate with people. So
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep doing it.
Absolutely. And
Absolutely.
I hope you do. And music truly is music and mathematics are the true universal languages, right? We can all understand both to a certain degree. We're not all as talented and blessed as you are. But when you think about the things that as a globe and as a humanity that we need to share, earth, air, water, food, hopefully peace, music is truly the one
Excuse me.
that brings that all together, because you don't need to understand the language, or
no.
you don't need to translate the script of the film or the play or the opera. Music is just, it washes over you and brings out different emotions in different people. So I can't thank you enough for what you're doing with all the world leaders and the Vatican and all of that stuff, because if there's one thing that will wedge all of this loose, I believe it's music.
Music. Absolutely.
Well
Yeah.
said, both of you. Well said. So my message to the Vatican was musicians are going to save the world. Words are not enough. Politics have to change. Music is a way to move people. It has been for centuries.
Yeah.
There was I don't know, it wasn't that long ago when when it was Lithuania, Latvia, and what was the other one?
Estonia.
Yes, Estonia. They sung. It's called the Singing Revolution. They all held hands between the capitals and they sung, and that was the final straw that broke the camel's back.
Oh.
Remember.
Yes. So you know. So going on the message of music, I'm starting a foundation to bring musicians together from around the world to have voices for change, voices for peace, voices to choose humanity. So that's where my song that I wrote with the most amazingly talented Charlie Midnight. God, he has so many Grammys.
Yeah.
He's local in LA and Montana. He's amazing. And we wrote the song for this CIMI conference, for Hope and for the Vatican. And it's called On and On. And it hasn't been released yet. It will be released very soon, in a couple of weeks, in a very exciting way that I can't reveal. But it will definitely make waves. And it seems to, I just give birth to music. We give birth to a song. I write a song with Charlie. I write with David Zippel. He's amazing. I've got a couple of projects.
I mentioned his name yesterday too.
I've got a wonderful project sitting right there, ready to be born. And what happens is they have a life of its own. I'm just going along for the ride, The Vatican conference. So the first night was the performance. The second day was a performance, and the third day. But the first night was televised, and they had 80 countries around the world watching.
Yeah.
And I can't even begin to tell you how many people saw it. And the Pope really responded. He's American.
Yes.
So I find him using the words that came out of my mouth in his own way. And it's a lovely thing to see. And
absolutely.
It's the motivation for the world. So when this song, we're going to do a video, all shot in Greece.
Great.
It's going to be spectacular. So we're going to release the song. Another magical moment about to happen.
Yep.
And then we're going to do the video in spring, and then it's going to be, it's going to be launched officially throughout the world.
Fantastic. Our friend Efrat she's on from Israel. She's saying, how did Dumbledore put it? Music, magic beyond all we do here. Yep.
Absolutely true.
That's so right, Efrat. That's truly, yeah. It's the thing that weaves everything together. It's sort of, without bees, we wouldn't have food, and without fungus, we wouldn't have plants and vegetables and things to eat. And without music, we just wouldn't have heart or emotion. I mean, it's part of the ecosystem for me, anyway.
But I don't know if you know, but Einstein said, when you put music and moving image together, magic's created, but you can't prove it. There's no scientific proof. This was his thing. It just is. And that's the wonderful quote that I got from him that I used.
I saw that the Pope has also convened, similar to the people such as yourself that he invited recently. In a week or so, there is a whole Hollywood contingent and New York film contingent. Spike Lee is going. I can't remember the list of names, but he wants to have a dialogue about how film and the messages that of peace and climate, whatever, how the movers and shakers in film can shape the message to heal the world. And I just love that we have a forward-thinking modern Pope who came from Chicago, so he understands, the Western world and the American way. But being a very spiritual man, all he wants is peace and a roof over everyone's kids' heads at night, right?
I feel like he's the right person at the right time.
Yes.
And so are we. We are all part of the same play. Arnold Schwarzenegger was at the conference. He was at the concert. He was swooning on my right-hand side, and the Pope was on my left-hand side. It was, I was trying to concentrate. It was really interesting.
From the Terminator, did you say, "I'll be back" when you went to the bathroom?
No. but it's really powerful, because for 5 days in Rome, people came up to me, and it was broadcast everywhere, and people took note of it, because the Pope gave a speech for almost an hour, sat down, and I performed my song. Wow. And I sung it, which is, thank you to Charlie Midnight. I hope he's watching. He was the one who convinced me that I can sing, because, he produced Joe Cocker, Joni Mitchell, and he told me, I'm an artist. I'm not a singer. I'm an artist. I can convey it. So the other night I had 10 people over for dinner, and I sat down at the piano and I sung it, and it definitely works,
Well, the more I know, when we were all roommates, you were always saying, "Oh, and I can't sing. And I used to say to you, that's nonsense. The more you sing, the better you'll get, because your confidence will know that, look, Bob Dylan isn't trying to be the lead opera singer at the Met.
Yeah.
Where would the world be without Bob Dylan's voice? Or, Bruce Springsteen has got a rasp.
Joe Cocker is another example.
Is another person. You're a poet, and you're conveying your emotions and your message through the piano and the lyrics, and one of those instruments is your voice. So, stop telling yourself you can't sing. That's bollocks.
No. I can. I stopped a little while ago. Good. But and interesting enough, I find that in singing the song On and On, specifically the one that I did for the Vatican, every time I sing it, something changes in me. Something happens to me, and if it's moving me, can you imagine what it's doing to everyone else? Yes. So I can't wait to release the official version. We also have a remix version coming out of Germany with Prince's producer. Everyone's really excited about it, and it's starting to gain momentum, on its own. And
that's
and I think the message in life is just don't try. I just stopped trying, because when I was living with you in Hollywood, all the agents were like, "Oh, Mark, we really like you, but you do too many things. Are you a film composer? Are you a songwriter? Are you a pianist? Are you a singer? What are you?"
Right.
Yeah.
There was something just an hour ago on KTLA News. There's a woman, she is married to the lead singer from Five for Fighting, and she's a music publisher, and she's released a book called Just Stop Trying. And the message is, no copyright infringement to Nike, but just do it. Don't have intentions to do things or try to do things. Just do them.
Yeah.
Well, I think what you're saying is don't compare yourself to anyone else. And
try to do something. Just
exactly. I since I'm now a European living in Europe, I find that when I do a concert in Paris or London, I don't have to practice anymore because I'm lazy. Listen, my fingers have been playing since I was a child. So I play by spatial. I remember everything by space. But because I'm so comfortable in front of audiences, and there's something special about not knowing what you're going to do, that I don't have to practice. Like, I think I'll do this. And then all of a sudden it becomes not Beethoven, but angry Beethoven. And it becomes a statement. So I was just brought to Frankfurt. They have a new opera house that's worth 65 million euro. It's absolutely amazing design.
Yeah.
They've asked me to do 2 concerts there, and I'm thinking of doing a piano concert. And the second one, I would like to conduct a symphony or a Mahler symphony from the middle and have the audience around me and the orchestra around them. They love this idea. No one's done it. I'm a disruptor. Now the theater can do it. It's going to be a very difficult task because it's like,
the audio. Yeah.
It doesn't matter. The experience is far greater than any audio you can imagine.
Yes. No, I can't. Well, people who, sit next to the orchestra pit, but you always think of an orchestra either in a pit facing the stage or the stage facing the audience, but putting them in the round is kind of genius, I have to say. Can you copyright that so no one steals it?
Well, it's very difficult to do. You have to have the theater that can do it. This one can. This one has movable parts. So I'm always thinking out of the box. I was in a TV show live, 2 shows live in China. China's a big market for me. I can fill an audience with 5,000 people with no like that. And they had Lung's top students sit down and play on live TV, and they didn't tell me. I was at the desk with the interviews, and they would stop them in the middle of a performance. Then I knew they go, oh, this is Chopin's scherzo, and they would stop, and I'd have to get up and continue where they left off, as if the composer was me at the stool. And I could do it. So I will let you know the first time. It's an interesting story. The first time I realized I was a composer. It's not based on what you think. It's always based on something else. I was at the Conservatorium of Sydney, ripe old age of 21, 22. And the German opera company came to the Sydney Opera House, and their pianist had the flu. So they came and they said, who's a good sight reader? Because we have to have rehearsals. So they came in, there were like 10 of us in the room. And the dean said, oh, these are all great sight readers. And I put up my hand and said, oh, how much are you paying? And they said $100 an hour. $100 an hour, me. They took me. The funniest thing is, it gets worse. I sat down at the piano in the opera house in the rehearsal room with all the singers. Treading, and it was Joan of Arc by Verdi, an opera I don't even remember to this day. And I sat down and they put the score in front of me, and I had a page turner, and there was no piano reduction. It was just the full orchestra. And I had to transpose the notes while playing. I swear this is all true. I said to myself, Mark, $100 an hour. You're 21 years old. $100 an hour, $100 an hour. And I started doing it. And I was, while I was playing, I said, I can do this. I got it. And I realized I was a composer, because you can't play every note of a score you've never seen, but I got the gist of it enough to fill in the parts.
But for people who don't know, when you say piano reduction, what you mean is the actual notes just for that instrument, because all instruments play in different keys. They all wind up playing in the, harmonically. But, if you play a saxophone,
the score is this big. The score is like,
Right. The notes for a saxophone are not going to be the same notes for a baritone, as a tenor, as a piano player, as a guitar player. They're all in different spaces between the lines and numbers, right? And so you got the orchestra score and had to pick out the piano bits and do it in real time. Wow.
And the conductor was very angry at me because I had to slow down for the singers, and I was like, oh, okay, like what is it? When you have a motive, my motive was, okay, I'm going to do this for 4 days. That was a lot of money, $100 an hour for 4 days for a young kid of 21
Absolutely.
or 22.
Even if you were living in Vaucluse, come on now.
I was,
How did I guess? It was that or Rose Bay, mate. It was one of the two.
Vaucluse. You're so bad. So anyway, so sometimes we do things for reasons that we don't know. But
Right.
I was very, very happy to do it because it showed me that I could do it. So I stuck to that. I had a very famous piano teacher in South Africa. His name was Dr. Adolf Hallis. He was a friend of Rachmaninoff. Oh, true. Now, when I wrote a book, China commissioned me to write a book, which I wrote from Cape Town to Shanghai. I did
Yes.
all my research on my life, and I found out that my piano teacher wrote 2 scores for
Wow.
Hitchcock.
Oh,
Didn't know. But my teacher said something to me as a young 14-year-old. He said, if I ever hear you play the same piece twice, the same way, I would have failed as your teacher. And I never forgot that. So I never play. Oh, I definitely don't play the same piece twice. I sometimes change the notes.
wow.
Really?
So for my for my scholarship exam, I didn't want to get it, so I thought I'd throw the exam, and I decided to mirror image the notes of the Saint-Saëns piano concerto in Sydney. So instead of go dee dee da 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 da, I went da 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 in real time. Guess who won the AMEB scholarship? Me.
You're looking at it.
I didn't
Little
want to.
bit. Yeah.
Oh, that's
How
funny.
wonderful.
That is wild. So what brought you in the end? What was America/Hollywood? Was that just a natural, pin in your map and your plan?
It is. I'm losing you. I hope it's not my Wi-Fi.
No, I can still hear you. I'm good. I'm
Okay.
I'm good. Everybody's moving. I was just saying, so you've
Okay.
talked about Sydney and South Africa, and now you live in
Yeah.
Greece. You're a rock star in China. What brought you originally to LA? Was it the Hollywood sign and the pin in the map as wanting a film composer thing? Was it just a destination?
No, it was a destination. There was a book many, many years ago when people read books like me. I mean, I don't even read anymore. And it was called The Business of Music.
Oh,
Do you remember
God.
it?
Donald S. Passman, who is
Yes.
a music lawyer, and he owns the strip mall right at the end of my street. Yes, I do
Well,
know.
thanks to him, I moved to LA because there was a chapter in the book and it said, if you're serious about your career, move to Hollywood.
Yep.
I was serious about my career. I moved to Hollywood.
How did we meet? Do you remember? Was it Melinda?
Don't remember at all.
I think
Oh
it was
my
a
God.
manager lady called Melinda somebody or other. Can't
A
remember. I'll have-
manager. Could be.
Melinda. She was an English woman called Melinda.
Didn't she live in San Diego or somewhere?
She had a place. I don't know. Anyway, we digress. I don't want to bore the listeners, but so LA was because of that book, because of Donald S. Passman.
Yeah.
Oh, how
Yeah.
funny.
Yeah.
If there are any aspiring musicians listening, by the way, that book is now in its 179th reprint, and it deals with everything from Spotify royalties to streaming to he refreshes it, God bless him, every year. And it is the Bible of the music business. If you don't have that, it's a hobby.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I took myself seriously. I thought, I'm going to have a go at it. I have to do something with my life, right? And I'm too passionate about music not to do it as a career. But it took many, many years, that, because I couldn't find my feet, and nothing happens overnight. Somehow I always managed to do fine, In fact, when I think about it, I've always made money as a composer,
Yeah. Well, you've never flipped burgers or driven a taxi. You've always managed to keep a roof over your head from your music.
Yeah, it's true.
Which is, and not being, you have the looks to have been a boy band hero. You could have done any and all of that, but classical music was your thing. And when you think back to the 80s and it was all Madonna and leg warmers and synth pop and Linn drums and Yamaha DX7s and all of that crap. You just stuck true to your roots, but there was always a meal on the table and a roof over your head, wasn't there?
Well, things changed in 2000 when I wrote The Power of One for Donna Summer.
Right.
And
that would help.
It helped a lot, but I was embarrassed because I'm like, I don't know. I met the head of music at Warner Brothers, and oh my God, it was funny. I won't even say his name, but it was hysterical. And he invited me to come to the office, and he said, "Yeah, who are you? They say you've got talent." So he had an upright piano, and I played a little bit, and he was like, "Oh, you have talent." He said, "We're doing this movie called Pokemon." Pokemon, didn't even know what Pokemon was. They were looking for the theme song. So I watched the movie. I signed a little thing. I watched
Yeah.
the movie for a few hours. I went home. I contacted my friend Mervyn Warren. We co-wrote the song together called The Power of One.
Yeah.
I came back and they loved it. And I'm like, oh, no, 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 no. I'm a classical musician. No, 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 no. And that became a huge hit, especially on the dance charts for 8 weeks on Billboard charts. And David Foster produced it. And, and then it was like, okay, I can write pop songs. So I really haven't written pop songs for many, many years until recently I decided I need to have a voice. And that's when I started writing. And this is real. And ironically, about 15 years ago, 14 years ago, I think it was, a woman stopped me, and it was in London, and she said, I'm a psychic. And I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. Bye. And she said, no, I don't. No, she says, I don't want to charge you. I feel like I need to say something to you. And I'm like, okay, this is a con, like blah, blah, blah. And she was so nice about it. She said, please just sit down. Sat down. She took out her cards. I said, look, I'm not really interested in having a reading. She goes, no, I feel like they're telling me I need to say something to you.
Wow.
So she took out cards. She read the cards. She read my hands, and she said, I think I got it. I said, what's the message? She goes, you're on the wrong side of the camera.
Huh. Interesting.
Which means she said your power is really on the other side as well. Which means
so go be a performer. You're an
the
artist.
performing part. Yes.
Right. Wow.
So I think,
Interesting.
and no one can tell you anything. And people say, oh, you have to be this, you have to be young, you have to be blah, 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 blah. Anyone can do it. You just have to believe in yourself, which is, by the way, most of my songs are about that. And so, yeah.
Well, if you're looking for tired old lyricists, I'm raising my hand. If you start writing pop songs, I'd love to pitch an idea in if you're ever looking for something.
I'd love that. We're looking for songs for choosing humanity, change the world. But I think the reason why the songs that I co-write work is because they're not specific. They say everything without saying it.
Right.
That's the magical formula. The song On and On is so heartfelt, and it means so many different things to different people, but it has a clear message. Hey guys, we got to get our shit together,
Right. Yeah, absolutely.
And that's why when my friend Kumi Naidu, he was the head of Greenpeace, played it for the Vatican, they heard it and said, oh my God, can we get him? The message was loud and clear. And and Charlie's lyrics are so brilliant that they don't scream it. They say it to you, and it becomes a very powerful message.
Right. Which is, again, back to square one about what music is for. Now, you touched on China. Ange had a question.
Yeah, yes. Talk to us about your concerts and collaborations across Shanghai, Beijing. I can't say the Zhejiang. What did you learn about
Zhejiang.
What did you learn about connecting with Chinese audiences, and how did that influence your writing?
If it did.
It's a very interesting question, Angie. Thank you. I never looked at ever working in China. I never looked at even going to China. The Chinese came to Hollywood to look for a Hollywood composer for one of their big projects. And it ended up being a Los Angeles director who I adore, who I'm working with again in China, Daniel Flannery, who, by the way, directed the Olympic Games in Los Angeles, and he's done spectacular, all the great concerts at the Hollywood Bowl. He's an amazing director, and we're still working even now. But I have other projects. So it was a project that took about a year, and like 400 million to build the theater, and it was Siemens, and then all the Disney people and DreamWorks did the animation 3D, and then we had Cirque du Soleil. It was like life on steroids. So I was there for a year. It was a huge success. We had actors from around the world, and it was so instead of having words, the whole show was told through my music. So I
Wow.
realized, I'm a storyteller,
Yeah.
and it's safe. This is why music is powerful today, because we can get to people without
Right.
having people say you can't say that, because it's
Right.
music,
Well,
but you
it's,
can say it.
yeah, especially in a communist country, you have to be so careful, don't you? I mean, back up for a second for me. So you were saying building the theater. Is it something akin that we Westerners would understand as like the Sphere in Vegas, or is it?
Yes, yes. It's like the Sphere and all combined, all of it,
Wow.
because they had the money to do whatever they wanted, and
Wow.
it was like a carte blanche thing. And that was
Right.
my first experience in Hollywood. Basically living there for a year, going up and down, and then I was consulted by the Tao Academy, and they have this model which is very beautiful, to invite the masters from around the world to help the next generation with their minds and their work and their creativity. So they said, we're going to build this building in Beijing. It was another amazing city. And I said, no, I only want to live in Shanghai. It's my favorite city. It's Paris of the East. It's amazing. It's New York on steroids.
Yeah.
So they said, okay, we'll make it for you in Shanghai. So they moved everyone. They built one building, 14 stories high, and we all had studios. And in those 10 years, I got to mix with the most creative people on the planet. They're still all friends of mine. They're all very close.
How
Jakob
fantastic.
Janssen, the designers, the architects, Ali Rahim, the people from New Zealand, all the top people in their fields were in our building. It was a
Wow,
brilliant idea.
that's like a country
that-
club from another dimension, isn't it?
And the beautiful thing is they paid for my up and down travel from LA every 3 months. 3 months here,
Wow.
3 months there, 3 months here. It was amazing. So I ended up I couldn't find students or people to help mentor until later. So I was found by the top director, who's the Spielberg of China. His name's Dr. Mao Weining. We've become very close friends. I've done every series he's done. I'm about to start the next one. He's the darling of the government. 52 episodes. He has 300 people in his crew. I'm not joking. We're talking big filming, studios, and we are about to touch on and do a story about the Cultural Revolution, never been done before.
Wow.
So, talking about you guys drinking right now, I was in London last week at my manager's flat. It was just fabulous in Chelsea. And I get a call. They're drinking a toast for you. They're drinking a toast for you. And I'm like, but it's the morning. And Director Mao, and he knows me. And the translator was like, you need to say Gambay. So I had to go around the table and I had my coffee. He said, no, wine. So William got me wine, and it was in the morning. Sun was shining. And I had to drink a glass, one whole glass. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the writer.
Oh,
and he said, I don't care. He said, I don't care. So this is how you formalize a project in China. I love them. And they've been wonderful to me, just absolutely wonderful. I must have had another lifetime there.
So proud, not of you because you don't belong to me, but for you. Just knowing, that we used to, in North Hollywood, you had to go down 3 steps into my bedroom, used to be the garage, and then turn left to go out underneath the palapa, whatever it was, to the washer and dryer. We used to do each other's laundry and crap. I mean, how far you've come.
But I mean, isn't that beautiful, Ruth? Isn't that beautiful that life is life? We do our laundry. I mean, I have a stunning apartment. I wish I could show you. I'm in the most beautiful area, and it's the Beverly Hills in the center. By the way, I'm overlooking the monastery, the Greek Orthodox monastery. So
last week when we spoke, it's fantastic.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I've got this thing with churches. It's very
I love
funny.
What Diana is saying, Mark, you give people hope. Isn't that beautiful?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you so much. That's such a lovely thing.
Yeah,
You know
Diana,
what? But that's what the conference was about. It, and my young driver drove me to the airport. It was only a month ago, in Rome, and I have lots of friends in Rome that could have driven me. And in the car, he said to me, "My father is the top translator in the Vatican," and he said, "Treat him with kid gloves. He's very special because of what he brought." And it so touched my heart. Here is somebody who wasn't there; he wasn't invited, and it was beautiful. I mean, how blessed are we?
Oh,
artists and people to have a voice. And I'm just very blessed at this moment to have a voice and a platform to say something. You know,
Yeah.
The ex-prime minister who was here at dinner the other night, he said maybe I can be the Greek entry for Eurovision, which
Oh,
is
fantastic.
bizarre. It's bizarre. You
That's
know,
funny.
why not?
Martin performed in Eurovision many moons ago, and I wrote the lyrics for the Germany's Eurovision, one of Eurovision entries. So for people who don't know what Eurovision is, it is the largest viewed television spectacle in the world, bar none. It's more than the World
Yes.
Cup, more than the
Correct. More
Super
than
Bowl,
everything.
more than the opening of the Olympics. It's the Eurovision Song Contest is amazing. Well, you know, I mean, why not? Actually, Greece won it twice, didn't they? Demis Roussos
They
and
did. They did.
and Nana Mouskouri.
Mouskouri, yeah.
They did. But I'm going to concentrate on other things because it seems to have. I mean, the things I give birth to are finding their way without me. Trust me. I was like, who's the singer? Who's going to sing it? Who's going? Like all that kind of thing. But
Right.
I'm just going to go. I'm going to go along for the ride, and it's
Yeah.
a friend of mine in London is a philanthropist, and he has a piano that's from the period of Chopin, the same player, stunning. And he invited 18 guests. I won't say who, because you'll know who were there.
Yeah.
In the Royal Tidge.
Yes.
And he had a private chef.
Angie's pen pal. Yeah.
Yes, your pen pal. And he said, "Can you do a concert?" And I was at dinner, and after the dinner, we all moved to this living room with the butlers. And I sat at the piano and I said, "I'm going to rewrite Chopin on a Chopin piano."
Oh,
And I had no idea what I was going to do. None. But
that's my mental friend.
but you know what? You have to be okay about making a fool of yourself. That's
Yes.
it's a requirement for an artist, I think.
I got 5 gold stars for that one.
But
Well,
you know what's the worst that can happen? The piano will
Exactly.
drop. What's going to happen? The thing
No.
is, I always say, my teacher taught me this in South Africa: if you are moved, they are moved.
Yep.
You know,
right.
it's and I just I travel a lot, so I was invited to Copenhagen, another old stomping ground of mine, and very good friends of mine, fabulous. She's an actress. He's the most famous opera star. She did this Kreutzer Sonata, and she did the play. And this very, very famous violinist played the Kreutzer Sonata, but it was so perfect it didn't move me. I didn't.
Yeah.
And
Get the head on the back of the yep.
and I know a lot of people in New York at school hate me. I play Bach with a pedal. I add notes in. And a lot of people don't know this about Chopin as well. Chopin, in his scores, wrote crescendo, which means get louder,
Yep.
and had a hairpin. So why would he do that? And then he had a diminuendo, and then wrote it. I'll tell you why. Because in those days, this means get faster. This means get slower, and we've lost all that.
And he was giving the interpreter permission to play with it a little bit, because how much faster, how much slower? It's up to the player, right?
Listen, it's up to you. What is your version of it? I don't want to hear other versions of it. I don't want to hear perfection. I want to hear your version of it. What is your voice saying?
Yep.
That's what I love about being able to do this at my age and get away with it. And then they say, "Oh, here's money." Huh?
At 42, come on, you can still do it.
I feel like a child, and I think that's the secret. I feel like a child. I sit at my piano, I play. I don't, I'm doing 3 projects. I'm doing this project for Daniel Flannery in China. We laugh in the client wants this and I do the whole orchestra mock-up, but I have fun. I call my neighbors from downstairs. I have, luckily the people below me is a psychiatrist from Boston and his wife, and they love the piano, and they come up and go, "Hey, listen to this." And we're
Fortunately, yeah.
I'm very lucky. I'm really lucky. So never lose the child in you. Just never lose it.
Yes.
I'm going to be an old man still as a child. I'm going to be doing funny things. And here's another thing. Living in Greece changed my life too.
Okay.
No one takes anything seriously. You go for lunch. I have a lunch tomorrow at 1:00. We're going to end at 4. It's outside. It's beautiful, around the corner. Then I have a dinner. Dinner's at 9:30 till 1:00 in the morning. Then I have the next, and it's social and no one takes it seriously. No one ever tells you at a restaurant to leave. It's not, oh, this is the worst thing you can ever do is tell someone, oh, we need your table.
Oh, yeah.
And it's full and it's expensive. I live in the most beautiful, it's full of foreigners. It's beautiful. You'll come visit, you'll see. Right.
Yeah.
So, the thing is, but the thing is, and I walk everywhere, but I also I swim, I do yoga. It's very important as a musician to exercise. I do weights. I do yoga. I swim. I have all my friends, and I have to do it in Greek. It's all in Greek.
Oh, tough. Yeah.
Oh my Lord.
Mhm.
It's okay.
Well,
the Greeks are all fluent in English, by the way. They're fluent in English.
Thank God. And I don't know if on WhatsApp, if I introduced you to our wonderful friend Antonis Karidis, who invented the 360-degree fisheye lens camera situation, Mativision. We worked with him way back when we went in the, what year would it be? We did the Slash project. 2009, we introduced Antonis to Slash from Guns N' Roses, and we went in the studio with his Greek crew. He flew them all over. And of course, what do? They've landed, they've done Athens, Frankfurt, I think New York, and then LA. So they've been on the road all day. I think it's a fantastic idea to take them to Rick Caruso's The Grove and take them to a Greek restaurant. They were like, oh my God, what is wrong?
No. Greek restaurant, Greek continent. First of all, I just want to, I'm here, I'm a little selling for Greece, right? 3 months ago, Continent Traveler said the most exciting place for food and destination in the world is Greece.
Wow.
Oh.
The most exciting place. Number one, 2025. Look it up. Continent. Anyway, I'm here. I get up in the morning. I work. It's the sunshine. We've got full of hills and mountains and ancient monuments, and it keeps me alive. Lots of great friends, and it's literally 2.5 hours to London, 1 hour, 15 minutes to Rome, 50 minutes to Istanbul, 2 hours to Germany, 3 hours to Portugal. I mean, it's just everything's around the corner.
Wow, fantastic. Well, you should definitely be the Eurovision ambassador for Greece, because you'd sell more apartments than a realtor, I reckon.
No. I'm sticking to music. I know one thing, music.
Well,
would it be rude of me to ask about your very famous, very funny aunt?
Oh,
my cousin.
Cousin. That's
I beg your pardon.
Oh,
I adore that lady. I watch her so much on Graham Norton programs.
So
reveal. Yes.
Reveal.
Okay. You should tell everyone who she is. Miriam Margolyes.
Miriam Margolyes. She is just the funniest, most
brilliant.
Yes. So our families. Yeah, oh my God! If she was on the podcast now, we would be in stitches. You never know what comes out of it.
You're waiting on me.
Oh no, she's hysterical. I mean, she's also a thespian. She's a great actress,
Oh yes.
And she's a great actress. She has a beautiful voice, but she says it like it is, and she's one of the most loved people in Europe, especially in the UK. I don't know. She won a BAFTA for Gangs of New York. What was that movie? I've forgotten. She was in Harry Potter. She hates that. I never say that in front of her. I hope you're not watching, Miriam. No.
Well, maybe she will be on YouTube. But no, she's just one of my absolute go-to. Wow, why can't I be just like that? She's fabulous. And she's another one. She didn't try anything. She just did everything.
Mm-hmm.
She gave me a lot of Sorry?
No, I was going to say I published my first book when I was nearly 83. So I was a late bloomer.
Yeah.
You should meet her. You know what? If we all go to London together, I'll have her make dinner, which means I make dinner. This is how it goes. I'm invited for dinner, which means I go get the groceries, I cook. And, it's great. She has a fabulous house.
Yeah, of course.
In Clapham. She's very... No, she has another house where I don't know if you know, she rented it out and the police came because they thought it was a drug she said it on Graham Norton too. They,
Oh.
they were using it as a drug house.
Oh,
Anyway,
my.
but that's my cousin Miriam. So I think character runs in the family, and
Yeah.
I'm more toned down than her. I would rather use what she says in my music, and she's a force of nature, yes. And I
Oh,
see her all the time. She's lovely. But you know, everyone I know wants to meet her, but I just say be careful because
Yeah,
you never know what's going to happen. I never know what's going to happen.
that's right.
Mm-hmm.
So where should I went to markchaitmusic.com is where people can find your upcoming, and then also on Instagram, right?
Yes,
You are
but on every platform, my music's on every single platform.
Yeah.
And it will the new song will be uploaded everywhere. There will be a big press release and another
Fantastic.
television special coming up
Great.
soon.
And that's, if people are wondering now how to spell it, it's Mark with a K, not like our friend Mark Lindsay in Houston who has a C, which my keyboard won't do. Mark with a K, Chait, Chait, music.com, where you can find this wonderful young man. I'm so happy that your life turned out this way and is still evolving and blooming and growing, and you deserve all of it and more, my friend.
Thank you for calling me young.
You are.
You are.
You're still younger than both of us, so you know. Hey,
Oh,
You know,
I'm still older than everybody.
and
we
Angie,
must.
Angie will be
Yeah,
90,
we must.
96 in
96
4
in
days,
2 days.
3 days.
3 days.
Wonderful,
Yep.
wonderful. You know, I cherish both of you.
Thanks.
All that's experience of how many years we lived together or something. It was all the foundation of who I am, and everything is part of it.
What
You know,
lovely
it
things
really
to say.
is. No, but it
Oh.
is. You know, I have to tell you one quick story before I go. I'll never forget when we had the earthquake,
Oh, that's
and
right.
we ran under. You were watering the garden, and I ran
Yep.
under the dining room table. You came, and then
Yep.
Ange said, "Oh, I have to go back and get a bottle of whiskey." And you went and
That's
got a bottle of whiskey and brought it back up. Remember?
That's we were all huddled
Under the table.
under the
Huddled
table.
under the table. I mean, like
Yeah.
life defining
I've
moments, you know.
forgotten
And
that.
Yeah, that was the Silmar quake.
that's right. That's right.
And it was very close.
Wow.
We were in North Hollywood on Atoll Avenue, and Silmar was probably only a matter of 8 or 9 miles. And that was a good rattler, and it was a thrust fault. It wasn't one of those rollers. It was one of those
Right.
break the crust things. And
It's definitely a get the whiskey out.
yeah, we
Yeah.
were all, you and I were holding on for dear life, and she's the bartender.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Exactly.
Nothing much has
No.
changed, darling.
But we do
All
have
right.
a marble table.
We do have a
Marble.
700-pound Italian marble table now. So you know, at least we play, and it's right by the bar.
It's right by the bar. I can see that. I love that. You know, I have a very minimalist place. There's nothing around. Everything's put away.
That's all.
Anyway, we
All
have to
right.
fix this, and we have to all get together. And thank you for having me and
Oh,
letting me
Absolutely.
say my
Go,
2 cents
go.
worth.
go find Mark at markchaitmusic.com and all of his Instagram and all of the music platforms and everything. Now, you won't know because you're not a regular listener and viewer, but our friends will know that, yes, Paul Moody, no, it wasn't 1972. It'd be in the late 80s. But anyway, so Angie's known as the Limerick Lady, and she has a book out on Amazon, which makes great holiday gifting, by the way, called Mrs. McCartney's Liverpool Limericks and Other Random Irish Haikus. So she put pen to paper, and all of our guests
Tell him who likes it.
Queen Camilla wrote her a letter saying thank you very much, and it
I
makes me
just had
giggle
my 3rd letter from Queen Camilla this week.
on about this book. So
Yeah.
the Queen sent a thank you letter about
Oh, how beautiful.
our new book called Words of Wisdom, Twisted English and Linguistic Lunacy for Word Nerds, which also makes a great stocking stuffer. So Ange now has
great.
Ange now has 3 letters from Queen Camilla. So we just call her pen pal.
My
Her
pen
Majesty
pal.
the pen pal. That's right. Oh, Paul is correcting me. It was Northridge was January. We'll figure out the name of the earthquake. Anywho, let's get to the limerick because I know it's late.
I have
late.
this. I've wrote.
Yes.
I have penned a limerick for you.
All right, darling. So I will let you count in the speed, and then we shall.
Off we go.
Right.
1, 2, 3.
There once was a maestro named Chait, whose scores.
I said Clint instead.
Oh, no, don't go there.
There was
Starting again.
Clint
Clap.
was
All
another
right, wait,
story.
No. We'll do this and we'll do that again.
Fine. The one was a maestro.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
There once was a maestro named Chait, whose scores made the silver screen great. From Beijing to Rome, his piano found home. Come sit while we talk and elate. Ta-da!
Ta-da! Oh, that is so beautiful. Thank you so much. I need to put that to music.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yes. I don't think there's ever been a limerick album. It's a very difficult meter, AABBA. But, you know, if anyone can do
You know what? Never listen to what you can or cannot do. I love a challenge.
That's
Exactly.
absolutely
We're all of the same fight. And listen, please, everybody, this is the only thing that's happened in the last few weeks has given me hope, because like everybody else, you lose hope. And we have to focus on the good stuff, because this is the only way we're going to come out of this, and stop shining a light on all that negative and who, I don't have to say names. And we really need to bring people and choose humanity, and for me, and I'm Jewish, I bring everyone together, like my cousin Miriam. We need to hold hands. And so my video is going to incorporate everybody in a beautiful ancient capital, a theater.
Right.
And one of the reasons why I love doing it here is because this is the place that invented democracy. Maybe it's the place we can save it.
Well said. Athens, Greece. Yeah. Absolutely. All right, my friend. Well, thank you so much for staying late with us. And I'm sure you're due for your glass of wine now. And
I can go for dinner now.
Well, exactly. We will love you and leave you. And we'll see all of you kids this time next week. Cheerio.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.